Hello guys, welcome to episode 2 of the 3-day sessions. In this part, we are going to focus on the high poly. So by the time the video is done, we will have a full high poly, or we'll try to. I want to clock this one again at about 20 minutes or so. So let's begin by creating a couple of more shapes to our blockout. If you have missed the first video, you can watch it on the eye icon that I will be plopping on YouTube in the upper right corner. And we basically got the block done, but we still need a couple more pieces of geometry. So we will start with creating a projector for this cool screen here and here. This small part, I want it to be a projector as well. So first things first, let's get rid of those. 3D Max is kind of something is shitting. Let me just check. Oh, I have it open twice. Okay, I'm sorry. That's why. Sometimes I have it open twice and it's kind of slow. All right, so we'll detach this. And we'll detach it as hollow screens, right? And this way we can toggle it. So let's go back to edge, select those two edges, and we will connect it. And now there are two ways we can create a piece of geometry. First of all, you know what? I will duplicate this whole thing. So I will Control D. Whoops. Let's do right click and clone, and we'll clone it as a copy. Terminal 1 is fine for now. And now what we have is we can work on this piece without changing the piece, without hurting our original block. So now we will select those two edges and connect it with either connect it with the options, and with the options choose to create something like this, the way you want it to be. Or what I'll do is I'll connect it with a single one right at the middle, and then just have a better control. I can zoom in and I can chamfer this one. Right, so I can chamfer it to as much as I want. That's a little too much, so we can also use the options here or settings, and we can just go for 4. That's too small. Let's do 6. There we go. And then we can just click on the plus sign to get another chamfer, and this time we'll make it a 2. Or okay, let's see. Let's undo this a couple of times. There we go. And now we can chamfer it until we get 2 smaller pieces like this. There we go. That's all I wanted. And now if we want to move them, we can move it and just lock it to the edge so we don't deform the angle of our screen, and just move it. I'm just gonna eyeball it to be something like this. Right, now we can do the same here. We can connect it, and then we can chamfer it, and this will turn off the edge constraint and chamfer. There we go. 2 is good, so we're gonna accept it. And now why I duplicated this is because I'm gonna go to polish, and I am going to get all those, Control I to invert it and delete it, and now I have those as a separate geometry. Now let's see how we're going to. We can get all of those and we can extrude them. Let's see if this will work wonders for us. Extrude on the local normal, It's way too much. Something like this. We can actually bevel them. I think we'll kill two birds with one stone, whatever the saying is. Something like that. You know what? Let's extrude them a very minimal amount, like 0.2. There we go. And then bevel them. To minus 0.2, no, to 0.2, and to it's very finicky because we're working with very small numbers. And to be honest, this will not even be visible, but it will be. I will know it's there, so I prefer to have it as detail. There we go. All right, so now I have those little pieces, and as you can see, they are kind of empty at the bottom, right? So, but that doesn't concern us at all because they won't be visible, so we don't need an art geometry there. All right, so now we have those. We can add normal details later to them, or we can actually don't bother with normal details and just create a couple of plops inside substance. However, I'm going to do the same here for the keyboard, which should be fairly pretty much the same. So just clone it, right, and just create a small piece of geometry that will have an emissive detail in it. There you go. Control-I to delete it. Now I can start playing with it. And the way I'm going to do it is extrude. Yeah, let's extrude it. 0.2. I'm just trying to figure out what I want is. If you hold Alt, you can just click between increments. So 0.3 is fine for me. Then let's bevel it. Once again into the local normal. Cool. Nah, the shape won't work. Right, we'll do it like this. Cool. Alright, so now we're done with this geometry that we have. Next thing I'm gonna go to, we can actually first, let's just attach all of those together. Call them hollow projectors. There you go. And now I just want to fix a couple of things really quick that we forgot to do last time, and to fix this angle. Usually sometimes you can get away with angles. However, I'm going to use the Quad Chamfer or the regular chamfer that comes with 3ds Max. It doesn't always work very well with angles, especially the way you'll see I do the high poly. So what I want to do is just get to the vertices and connect them. Yeah, so basically this and this we're gonna connect, so we have a quad, and then we'll have another quad here. Come on, quad here and here, and we're gonna connect those, and now we have 3 quads. And I can do the same bottom quad here and a connection here to make 2 quads. Now I cannot use symmetry anymore, simply because our shape is not symmetrical, so let's do the same thing here. It's not too much of a hassle, right? So, and once again, if your model doesn't require perfect topology, like especially the one you'll be baking from, as this one, you don't really need to do this. However, I think it's not too much. All right, so we have this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the projectors a little bit, and what I'll do is I'll get all these inner pieces, that the one that will project, right? This one, and I'm going to inset them, just a couple. That's too much, so we're just going to inset them 0.4, right? And from then on we're gonna bevel them. Well, again, let's turn on the terminal, and I want to bevel them in. However, I gotta be careful because it's very thin border, so if I bevel them too much, right, I will go inside the other piece. So I just gotta bevel them just enough, like 0.3 will be enough. Whoops, what's this? Okay, and now I have pieces where my emissive light will come from. And just for now, let's go to the hollow projectors, and I'm gonna use the simple material, and let's quickly apply some ridiculous color to it, like yellow, right? And we're gonna apply this just so we can make sure that it doesn't protrude into the big part, into the body of the computer, right? So it's not, and let's just actually go with this darker color here. There we go. And right now I'm trying to figure out if this one here isn't too small. So basically what I mean is we can go to vertices and just make it a little bit bigger, or even we can even like make it like this. This would be cool. This would be cool, right? No, we can't. Or we can actually. Let's see how it looks when we make it. Oh no. This is part of not working with a concept. You will never have the final version in front of you before you put it into the engine, simply because it's all in your head. But I think that's cool enough. All right, so we'll stop here, and this is all the pieces of geometry we have to do. So now let's do a couple of normal details. Like for example, I want this piece here to have kind of a railing that those two will slide on based on what you see. Even if it's not animated, even if it's like just this, it should still be cool, right? So yeah, let's do this. So I can just turn off the hollow projector now, and I'm going to select this one, and let's Control S, just so we don't get a problem. Oh, we're moving good. We're 13 minutes in. So we're going to quickly set it. And now once we set it, we can turn back the whole projector just so we can have a better measurement. That's good. Cool. Let's turn them off again. Go to 2. And I am going to connect those. And we're going to really play with it. I don't really care that here we get a split on this because we are not going to use those. All I want to do is I want to make it like this, I guess, and then from now on we are going to select, come on, we're going to select all of those, every other one, and we'll see if I got the number right. I think I do. No, I didn't. It doesn't matter. Let's do it like this. And what we are going to do with those is we are going to bevel them in, right? Let's try. Dude, what the hell, man? 0 minus 0.2. Okay, minus 0.4. And then I want something like this. Cool. Now this whole thing will be will not be in the model itself because it's a lot of geometry, but those will serve as a nice kind of railing pieces for the projectors to move on, right? So now we have this. Alright, so I recorded this video, then I lost the footage because I'm an idiot, and now I record it again, just this part of the video, which is the high poly. We're going to do it using a method that's pretty well known, but if you're new, there is some one-on-one tutorial for you. We're going to use Quad Chamfer and Turbo Smooth to get the nice edges we need. Now the Quad Chamfer, up front, I'm going to be honest with you, the Quad Chamfer is a paid tool, but you can just as well use the regular chamfer that comes with 3ds Max. Now the Quad Chamfer just gives a little bit more of an oomph to your work, and if you're serious about using 3ds Max, I would recommend that if you have the opportunity to get the Quad Chamfer, I will provide a link description down below. I don't have anything to do with this tool, I just have it because it's awesome. Anyway, so what we're going to do and how we're going to work, someone types. Cool. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to Quad Chamfer it, and then we're going to create chamfer based on the smoothing groups. Here you have edge selections and you have smoothing groups, edge weights, vertex selection, face selection. We're going to use the smoothing groups, and first of all, this is way too much of a chamfer, so 1 is very much a very wide chamfer, and we have a relatively small object, so we are going to decrease it. So 0.5, that's too much. 0.2 is too much, so 0.1, there you go. And then after this whole thing is done, we can create a turbo smooth, crank it to twice, and have this nice little pieces. And if you want to be more of a to tighten up the edges, you can just go and reduce it. So 0.005, that's way too much. 0.05, there you go. And I have this nice edges. Now just because of the way we made it, we inset it and we bevel them in. We don't have to do anything here in terms of fixing the smoothing groups. But as you can see, as you can see here, for example, we have an issue. And to fix it, we're gonna go to the editable poly, go press F4 for the wireframe. And if you press this show end result on off, you can see working. You're still on the editable poly, but you see all the modifiers that you've applied to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply select the edge that we want. There you go. And we're going to go to the bottom and just apply auto smooth. There we go. And let's get those as well. Auto smooth. There you go. Now you don't have to, as you can see, you don't have to do it like this. Right now the surface will be baked, will be good to go on the high poly, but when you bake it, you might get some stretchings on the normal maps and stuff like this. So basically, you don't want this very stretched surfaces here. So just when you don't care too much about it. Anyway, so you can just, it's pretty much where you go and where you want it to be. So just auto smooth this piece here and do the same here. As you do more and more assets, you will figure out exactly how you want to approach it and where you can afford to have those stretchings and where you can't. Now, for example, here, if I want to have something like normal detail we'll paint later in Substance, if you put it here, it might stretch very ugly. So we can just get rid of it, pit's sake. And now, if we get out like this, we get, as you can see, we get a very nice clean edge. That is, it's neither razor sharp, because nothing is perfectly razor sharp except probably razor blades, but it's also very smoothly done, and that's what we need. So with that being said, we gotta apply this to the hollow projectors as well. I almost forgot. And what you can do is you go to terminal. What you can do is you can get those, control and copy, and you can just paste. And this way you're pasting them with the same settings that you've applied already. Now here, come on, man, those emails are. I'm getting you subscribers. All right, that's fine. Oh, by the way, subscribe. All right, so now you can come here and work those as well. As you can see here, we gotta fix our smoothing groups. So let's do this very quickly. We're gonna go to polygons. And we're just going to select this polygon and this polygon. Gonna group them together. Auto group. There we go. Gonna do this polygon, this polygon. There we go. Probably if you want to be, let's see. No, not this one. Sorry. Probably if you want to be thorough, yeah, if you want to get a very nice edge, what you can do is you can just you can connect those. Right, so we'll move the rest of a time lapse. As you can see, I'll do the same. However, we gotta do something else. We gotta fill those holes here. So if I get back to this part. Come on, there we go. I want to fill those just so we can have this nice edge. I'll move to time lapse while I do this, and then I'll be back with you. Alright, we are back. Now, when I did this, when I closed those edges, I saw that those here, these faces, let's go to face and show you. These faces here are protruding. As you can see, they are at the very same spot, which is not cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to press W to go to move, go to a local, and ever so slightly push them out. There we go. And now if we get it, you can see it doesn't protrude. I'm going to do those with these two as well. Those we can do at the same time. Right, so just slightly. There we go. And finally with this piece here. It doesn't seem to have any problem, which is fine. Let's just check. Okay, we can leave it like this. You know what? Turns out this one could even use a little bit move backwards. Alright, so now if we apply everything, we still get the most shapes. However, we still have those little issues, right? Like here and stuff like this. That's because we bridged and we haven't figured out the smoothing group. So what I can do is I can just go to where I want and auto smooth it like this, auto smooth, and those should be smoothed automatically. Yep, same on the back. Come on. You can always get back if you have a hard time seeing which one you want, which one you're selecting. Just select it and go back, and you'll be able to see. Auto smooth those. Cool. I need to auto smooth this one. Cool. And the same on the front. I'm just going to fast forward till I do all this. Basically what you do is you auto smooth edges that do not touch sides that do not touch each other when you want a chamfered and therefore a harder feel and a hard edge. There we go. Cool. Alright, we are pretty much done with the high poly. Now, in the next video, we will put some additional details inside of Substance Painter. I'm going to show you how to draw normal details and then bake a map with all the ambient occlusion and stuff like this from those normal maps that you have already created. But for now and for this episode, this will be it. So just checking. Right. Now, let me just see if we can go to... Yeah. I will go, and for all the smaller parts, I will go. Yeah, for the smaller parts, we'll use a 0.3 chamfer. And there we go. This should wrap up the video. We are done with high poly. Next week, in the next video, we are going to be inside Substance Painter, and we're going to paint some normal details. Just to cover this, I left some details that I want to add not modeled, just so we can cover it. I'm not going to do a whole video on just the UVs and how we do the low poly. I'm just going to show you the end result, explain how we are going to process this and what we're going to do in Substance, and then we are going to do it to bake, draw normal maps, and perhaps texture it in the next episode. So until next Wednesday, stay home, stay safe, don't give the fucking corona another excuse to get you, and see you then.